Hi, second grade. Today we're going to be creating a landscape. We have already talked about landscape. Remember, there's a background, that's things that are on the back. Then there's the foreground, which is everything right in front of you, like these flowers, which I could reach out and touch. And then the middle ground, things that are in the middle, like these houses. You may be inspired by nature, your backyard, or maybe you want to make up a place. A landscape could be Mars. It's totally up to you. I want to see how creative you can be. Hi, second grade. Welcome back. I'm so excited to have you in this week's lesson. First of all, thank you so much, parents and second graders, for trying out these activities. I know you guys have so much work already in the classroom, so it means so much to me that you are making it happen with specials and doing those specials activities and keeping those brains creative during this remote learning. So we've already created a landscape this year earlier, if you remember. So we're gonna keep up that idea using lines, shapes, and patterns. A landscape is when an artist creates an image of something outside. So we're thinking about land. That's why we call it landscape. A land could be mountains. Land could be a desert. Land probably wouldn't be a city. That would be called a cityscape. And if you did a picture of the ocean, that might be a seascape. So right now we're talking about landscape, things that have land. Now, today you're gonna be creating a landscape. Now, I'm gonna be using some materials and I'll talk about those, but you don't have to copy what I did. I try to make these activities useful for every household and family. This could be stuff that's already around your house. If you wanna purchase something for this project, go for it, but I'm not expecting anyone to have to buy anything for this project to get it done. Maybe your idea is you wanna take some model magic and make some mountains. Maybe you want to take some blankets and some chairs and make a mountain out of blankets and chairs, or kind of like a fort. That could be your art project this week. Just take a picture of it and send it to me. That's totally fine. As long as we're thinking about the word landscape, maybe you're finding some patterns and shapes in what you're finding, it's totally fine with me. So think about things around your house or art materials that you could use to create a landscape. So here's what I found. I have some cardstock with some patterns, but you could use newspapers or magazines and come up and find some different patterns in those. And then I found some just construction paper. If you are interested in doing it like me, I found these at Walmart, and if you wanted to, you could go buy them as well, but you don't have to. Now, for this project, we're still in the idea of mixed media, so mixing different medias together. So it could be, I'm using marker and crayon and paper and pencil and glue. You could even paint something for me. Totally awesome if you want to do that. So I found these 4 papers that I want to start with. I'm probably going to add more things as I go, because it's mixed media. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this light blue, and then I'm going to take this kind of lighter green, and I'm gonna tear it. And it doesn't matter. Some of you have done a landscape with tearing before, so just use those skills. I'm gonna use a glue stick this time. Give one side of this light green a little bit of glue. Then I'm going to take this blue back and I'm gonna put it down at the very bottom. And it's starting to look a little bit like land, but you know what? It needs something. To me, it doesn't look quite right yet. So I'm going to give it some variety in color and take a little bit of this darker green and do the same thing, but I'm gonna make a smaller strip this time. Yeah, I think that'll work. And then I'm going to put some glue on one side. For me, it doesn't matter. Glue side goes down. I'm aligning the corners just to keep it neat. And voila, so it's getting there. Obviously this isn't a finished picture by any means, but it gives me kind of a base to start with. And now I think I'm gonna use this white sheet and maybe cut out some clouds. All right, so here's what I have so far. Still doesn't look quite done yet. So now I want to add something that's going to really give it emphasis. So as you can see, there's a lot of solid color. There's not a whole lot of pattern or line. I'm going to be using some cardstock paper, or you could cut images out of magazines and put them in your landscape, and find something that really sparks your interest. There's lots of color in here, and that's why I picked it up. And I'm gonna try to come up with something unique that maybe I hadn't thought of before I started this project. So here's my game plan. I found this piece of brown paper. I cut it into like what looks like maybe a trunk of a tree. And then I found this cardstock with this beautiful lime green and other greens. So I thought this could make a perfect tree. So as you're thinking through your landscape, how do you want the placement? Does it look better over here? Maybe it needs something over here. Maybe the tree doesn't need to be up here. Maybe it kind of needs to go off the page. Yeah, I think I like that. So you're becoming a problem solver through this activity. That's the biggest thing about art, is that you're constantly making decisions, and that's what I love about it. It's really thoughtful. So glued down my trunk, and now I'm gonna start putting some of the leaves on the little dots of glue. Remember, a dot is a lot. Don't go crazy. All right, I'm back. I like how my tree turned out. My favorite part is that it goes off the edge, and I think it just gives it a really interesting look. We always try to keep things on the page. What happens if you let yourself kind of go off the page, be a little bit different? Now I have a chance to add some lines. So even though I added that tree, I still think it could need something. So I'm gonna go back in, add some lines. I wanna make it interesting. I could try out some different colors. Remember, there's no wrong way to do this. Maybe there's a bird. There's some birds flying. Who knows? It's totally up to you. Mixed media means you get to choose what things you want to combine. So if you're feeling crayon today, go for it. If you want to cut out a funny picture from a comic book, go for it. It's totally up to you. So I'm going to finish this. I'm so excited to see what you're going to create. Remember, in the lesson plan, I have a little link where you can add a photo if you want to show me. You don't have to show me. You can just kind of submit it, and then I know that you did it. And parents, if you're listening, thank you so much for investing this time into your child. It means so much to me that we are getting a chance to give you some creativity time for those students who are just so artistic and talented. So I really do thank you for making some time for specials this week. Have a great day.